stay the course. I wouldn't want anything different from where I'm at right now. You know, everything's for a reason. And a lot of people think that they want to go back and change something they did. But if you go back and change that, then maybe you're different, or you will be different now. So I'll just tell them, stay the course, you know, like grind. God's plan is real, and you know that He's got something in store for you. And if you're regretting what you did in the past, then you're not trusting God's plan.
Another day, another opportunity, man. I am here with a special guest, my guy from Kings High School, going to Bellarmine, right? He is a fantastic player, but also a great leader. My guy, Tommy Clark, is in the building, man. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just living it up.
Hey, that's how you do it, man. First of all, thank you for being here, giving us your time, and sitting down with us, having this conversation. You are somebody who I've seen your journey, right, since you was a youngin', man. Even in junior high, I remember you playing. I think you went against one of my guys, right? I forgot about this. You know what I'm about to say? One of my assistant coaches was coaching junior high.
Yeah.
And you made a post, and you tagged him. You don't remember that?
I do not remember that.
He's a coach. Yeah, oh, you did. Me and him talk about it still to this day. We was like, wow, this kid just tagged you on some. But yes, that was our first memory of Tommy Clark. We're like, oh, this kid got something. You know, he gonna be nice just because of that. But I've seen your journey, man, and like I said, your leadership, just from going against you, right? Having to scout you, right, and try to game plan against you. Heck of a leader, heck of a player with a bright future. So once again, thank you for coming out and having this conversation.
Of course, thank you for having me.
No doubt, man, no doubt. So this is how we're gonna start it. You know, I love when I'm able to find things, right?
Yeah.
This right here. This right here,
man.
A throwback. First of all, this is the same
archive,
account.
bro.
This is the same account. I gotta shout out this account. And I think I know who it is. I think it's T's mom.
Terrence, yeah.
Okay, shout out to her, because she's everywhere.
No,
like
yeah.
she did the one with the Cincy Lakers with Trey, and now she got, is it the Mutants? Where's the team name?
I have no idea what.
It says hashtag
about,
mutants. So.
I don't know.
But this right here is a young Tommy in 7th grade.
Man.
And when I first saw it,
Kings players on here.
I'm like, okay. Yeah, the big fella.
Yeah, we got Nate Lyman too. Nate.
Really?
Nate's up here.
Right here?
Yeah.
Is this him right here?
Yeah, that's Nate.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's legendary.
Man, this was against Coach Walker.
You know, I thought that was Coach Walker.
Yeah, he's on the side.
Yeah, I thought that was him.
Yeah, the landmark days, man.
Hey, young Tommy. Now, I'm gonna tell you something right now. All right, I want y'all to see this. I want everybody in this room to pay close attention, because this is cool, right? Nice little steal.
I know where you're going.
You know, okay, young fella, we see you.
Almost missed it.
We see you, but you know it goes in. You know. I'm telling you, this right here, when I saw this, I closed my laptop. I just walked away. I'm like, okay, watch this, Rob.
Bro, and the thing is,
stop the clip.
Everyone acts normal. I'm like, did anyone see what I just did?
It's a different demographic, you know. If it was, a little different, people be running around, running out the door and all that good stuff. Because that's what I freaking did, just watching it on my computer. I'm like, this guy, so, what is that something you worked on? Is that something it's just that, what is that?
I mean, for me, bro, I would just be watching YouTube or watching highlights of Kyrie or something, and then I'd be out in my driveway trying to replicate it. But I've always had that the athletic just gene. My dad, shout out to my dad. I feel like he's the one that gave it to me. But just a feel for having a ball in my hand. So just going out in the driveway and practicing these cool moves. I was really just trying to look cool. But I knew this team I could try it against, because we were up by probably 20.
Yeah.
But yeah, just out in the driveway watching videos, trying to redo it, trying to look cool.
But that, I think as kids, I feel like a lot of us did that, you know, watching a bunch of highlights, our favorite players, trying to see things we can pick up on and stuff like that. Just having fun.
Yeah.
Just having fun, man. And I think that that's something that can be lost, the love, right, of course. But how does, from that young kid right here, that's on the screen, to this young man that's sitting down right here, right, what do you think is one of the biggest challenges that you faced in that journey?
I would say just comparison, because growing up, I feel like social media became such a big part of people's sports journeys, and you know, when you're seeing people's offers and you're seeing highlight reels and them getting like clout and fame, like that's, I mean, when you're a little kid, like you're like, man, I want that.
Yeah.
But just overcoming the comparison thing and running your own race instead of trying to take like someone else's idea or take them or like try to replicate them, instead of trying to do things so people will replicate what you're doing.
See, and that's something, you know, I'm not that old, Tommy, but back in my day, right, I don't feel like it was that much comparison on social media. Like you didn't see people unless you saw them at the court, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that top player, you didn't see them play for real. I mean, there might be a little highlight here, but it's like it was more of you showed up at the tournaments and it's like, oh, there you go right there, right? But with social media today, like you said, man, it's easy with all the access of information to just compare yourself to everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and so that compare culture, actually is what Trey called it, right, can really weigh you down. So that's good. That's good though. Okay, now we gotta fast forward to this guy. All right, we gotta fast forward to this guy. And the thing about this guy, I'm gonna just play this right here, right? Because I got questions. All right, let's stop. This is in our scouting report. He's going to try to get the steal. He's going to jump the passing lanes, right? And he's not, he's playing hard, right? He's trying to get the steal, right? He's trying to win the game. But what he's also trying to do is get this daggone dunk.
For sure.
Right? I swear, people who are athletes jump the passing lanes like no other. Like no other. The anticipation is like no other. Because you know that I can do this. Where did that come from, Tommy? Is that a natural thing? Is that you had to do a bunch of PJF performance workouts, or like what was it?
Yeah, so I mean, it really started like from being inside on the mini hoop on the door, me trying to do all these cool dunks. And then once I got older, going outside onto the like 8-foot rim, 7-foot rim, trying to do all these dunks. But then when I realized like, when I was older, when I could like start working out and stuff and getting more bouncy, I would be trying to touch the rim in the gym, or like after I got my first like rim grazer, I started doing plyos with our guy at Kings. And then like after that, for sophomore year, I started doing them, or freshman year up into the sophomore year. I realized, I'm like, man, I'm kind of getting bouncy. Like
bouncy out here.
And I started trying different things. And the main thing is a lot of times people think it's squatting or calf raises that are going to get it, but like just dunk attempts. Like if you go and have a dunk session or a jump session, replicating what you're doing when you're dunking, you're going to work out those muscle groups that just like are going to become like very strong. And we had a dude, senior, when I was a sophomore, he was a senior, who had crazy bounce. Like he could do East Bays, and he was short. He was on the team, but he didn't play a lot. But me and him would go to Lifetime Fitness, and he would be trying to show me things to work on and like takeoffs. And I just, from there, like it just was like natural.
Now we're gonna go here. I'm sure you already know how you played in this game, right? But what I noticed is you do play off of ball screens, right? Is that something you prefer?
I like high ball screens, you know, because it either gives you a switch onto a dude that you know can't really guard you, or it gives you more like space with a guy who has to make another decision. He's got to think, am I going over, am I going under? So you know he's in his head.
Right.
But I definitely do like ball screens more, preferably higher than that.
So like say a play like this, right? What's going through your mind right here? Right, you have the ball, he's right here, Tommy. All right, I mean, it's like, you know, he's right here.
I mean, I'm just thinking hand down, man down. You know, he doesn't got a hand on my face. And then his left foot, I was going to attack his left foot, but Cato sitting there.
Right.
Once he moves his feet and just steps back, I'm like, I mean, I'm shooting this.
Oh,
where you like, you got to step up. Plus, I've already hit 4 threes this game, so I'm feeling good. And it's just the mechanics. Like I'm like, if it's going up, it's going in.
Right.
So I just launch it, and I know that I've worked to a point where I can have like leniency on those shots.
Yeah. I mean, your confidence, and that's crap. I mean, to have the game that you have to have confidence. I mean, you just have to, right? Because it's not about. Here's the thing: it's not about having confidence to make it. It's having confidence to miss it.
Oh, to miss it.
Or you know what I mean?
Shoot it.
Or shoot it. Same thing, right? Because at the end of the day, like if anybody takes this and makes it, it's like, oh, everybody cheers. But if you miss it, it's like, bro, what is he on? Who is this guy? Right? So it's that fear of not making it a lot of times that keeps people from taking these type shots. Yeah. But for you, where does that confidence come from?
Just you know, people say it all the time. It's what is it? They fall back on their training. Just, you know, falling back on my mechanics, like how many times have I sat there in the gym alone shooting that same shot, or on the gun shooting that same shot, or I mean just anywhere, like playing with your friends and, you know, they're kind of trying to contest you or you're just messing around, like all that stuff plays into it. But it definitely helped that this was senior night and one of our last games in that gym, so you know, I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna shoot some shots that I probably shouldn't, but definitely the training, you know.
Was it senior night? Let's go ahead and talk about it. We'll go ahead and talk about it. You know, we'll talk about the elephant in the room. Because it wasn't senior night that day, Tommy. Okay? All right, so I ain't trying to hear, you know, it was senior night. I ain't trying to hear that, you know, because it felt like senior night on that day. All right, we played against you, right, at Kings. You needed a certain amount of points to get 1,000, right? I told the referees, don't worry about stopping the game. Don't worry about planning that, because it's not happening tonight. It's not happening. I told my team it's not happening tonight. All right. It happened, right? Now, that first half, man, you was getting to it, right? So, in your mind, what was the mentality going into that game?
I mean, like I said, I wanted to kind of wait. I mean, I didn't really have control. Like, if shots are going in, knowing me, I'm going to want it. But, you know, just wanted to get like a bunch of assists and get the team involved, you know, and just play my game without forcing things and being sound on defense. But then I start, you know, shooting and shots are falling, things are feeling good.
I don't think you realize how demoralizing this whole thing is, Tommy. You know, I didn't really, you know, I really wanted it to be a different day, you know, and I was really trying to get my teammates involved, and that hurts, Tommy.
Yeah.
That hurts. But you was getting to, you know, but it was one of those games where you were just flowing, man. Yeah. And it's hard to stop somebody when they're in their groove like that. They're flowing. It's a home game, right? And like you said, you was feeling it. You seeing the ball go in. You shooting it from NBA, cash. You know, and I could have pulled those clips up, but I refused to do that. Yeah. Right? But you was getting to it, man. And first half, you had like, what, 20 or something like that?
Something, yeah.
And so at that point, you're like, well, I'm going to go ahead and.
Yeah, I might as well. And my sister was going to come home for that game because she's at Lexington. Okay. And she was going to come back, and my mom was like, don't come back. Like, he's going to get 1,000 like next game or something. Yeah. And she texted her at half, and she's like, he's 12 points away. And she was so mad because she's probably one of my biggest fans. Yeah. And she was so mad. But, I mean, I didn't know any of that was going on. I was just like, man, I'm going to get it now.
Well, what's your sister's name?
Sarah.
Sarah, we tried. I'm sorry. We tried. We tried our very best. But flow, that word, that's the one word I was talking about, flow, right? And for any shooter, we know it's hard to explain it, but you know it when you're in flow, right? And I do think that comes from, of course, the work and stuff like that and the confidence. But what does a typical Tommy Clark workout look like?
You know, right when you get in, stretch a little bit. I'm not the biggest into stretching. You know, I could, if I really wanted to, I'd probably just roll out of bed and go and start playing. But obviously, your body wouldn't like that. So stretch a little bit, and then get some ball handling, maybe. I either go ball handling first or form shooting. Gotcha. Because I like to get a lot of shots up in workouts. So if I got someone there to work out with me, I'll do like, like just a certain amount of shots, like 5 spots, 5 shots, but start closer and back up and back up. But I also love just getting on the gun, like that's my favorite workout, just being alone to yourself, just listening to music or something, getting a bunch of shots up, and then finish it off with like a shooting game or something, trying to get a high percentage on that. Like we do this one, it's called 32, and it's like a layup, a jumper, and a 3-pointer from every single spot, every 5 spots, and then 2 free throws. I like to finish out with those, but definitely a lot of shots, because I know I'm going to be shooting a lot.
Right.
So
that's good. What's the playlist? You say you play music. What's that playlist looking like?
Usually a lot of Drake when I'm hooping, like the smooth, like nice Drake, not like the hard, like, because he's got. You can listen to him for anything you want.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Getting that on, and then I do like some like pop, like 2000s pop, like the old stuff.
Like what? Give me one. Give me somebody.
Like Lights, Ellie Goulding.
Okay.
You know those?
Oh, okay.
And the party music has been getting to me, like the ones that you would hear at like on TikTok, like the DJs that are playing like those mixes.
Oh,
like,
okay.
We used to play them before games, like they get you pumped up.
Okay.
For sure.
That's a variety of stuff. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice little variety. Oh, you talked about shooting, right? And the work you put in, the confidence. But here's the thing right here. This is what destroys a lot of people. How do you deal with off nights? How do you deal with shooting slumps?
Well, I actually went through a pretty big one at the beginning of the year. Man, I struggled, but I really just trusted myself. And for me, like God's plan, like He knows, like maybe right now, I have a bad night, but somewhere in the future I'm gonna have 30 or 36 or 35 or something. I'm gonna play well.
Yeah.
But I also just used it to, like sharpen other things. Like if I'm in a shooting slump and I know shots aren't falling, get to the rim, try to get to the line more, or like draw defenders in and kick and work my teammates in more. But definitely just, you kind of got to get it out of your head, because you're a good shooter.
Right.
So just put it to the side and keep shooting. Don't change anything.
And see, that's the key right there.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where people
They want to change their form, and they want to get mental about it. I just, just go in the gym, pick up a ball and shoot.
Right.
If you like it, keep it. There's no reason to change it.
Yeah, that's the key, man. People be trying to perform surgery on stuff like, hey, man, relax. It's a part of the journey.
Yeah.
It's a part of the process. Like, I'll never forget, I went to go see Steph Curry play, man, and he was about to break the record.
Yeah.
It was in Indiana, right? And horrible. Shot the ball horrible. We all sitting there like, man, we got scammed. This ain't him. Like, who the heck is this? But that's a part of it. Right, every great shooter has off games. Right, they have shooting slumps. Might last a week, a month, whatever. Right, but the bigger picture. Right, you look up and you still had a good shooting season. Right, but it's like being able to push past that. Right, is I think the best shooters are the best missers. Right, they know how to bounce back from missing. Right, because you're going to miss. I don't care. Because even Steph Curry, Tommy, right, misses more than he makes.
Yeah.
There's no shooter out there making more than they miss. So you have to be able to miss well, right? And you definitely do that, right? It's a testament to you, because obviously, right, because your body of work. So, but that's a major key, for sure. It's definitely a major key. Are you a film guy?
This year I definitely got away from it more, because coming around the third time playing some teams, they may have different players, but I feel like the tendencies of the team is always similar.
Yeah.
So, I definitely watched probably the most film of everyone we had. Right. But just because, I like watching basketball. Like, sometimes I was just watching just to watch.
Yeah.
But I think it really does help out because if you see a guy doing the same thing he does the past 4 games, and it's coming, like, it helps you out a lot. And obviously with plays and stuff, trying to get people's plays and understand what's coming, I think it helps a lot, especially as a team when you're in there watching and you got like a real coach, like who knows the game, and you got multiple coaches really, like dissecting the game, and I think it helps a lot. Yeah,
for sure. And that's something I try to tell kids all the time is, look, it helps slow the game down for you. You start picking up on patterns, and there's the mental reps. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a way for you to still be engaged and learn, because the mind it'll pick things up, man, as if you're actually doing it on the court.
Yeah.
The mind is powerful. So, but that's good. Leadership style, man. That's something that, like I said, man, I've seen you grow into a leader. What type of leader would you say that you are? What's your leadership style?
I just say lead by example.
Okay.
You know, because I feel like a lot of leaders, like sometimes, like I can be vocal, but I'm not good at like talking to people about things that like they won't want to hear.
Right.
So maybe just like a quick like, hey, like you're good, or like pick up, and then just do the right thing to show them instead of, you know, like being hard on them or something. But definitely just leading by example.
Yeah.
I like that style.
Yeah, I mean, and that's key, right? I mean, that's first actually, because we've all seen the guy who's vocal, but it's like, brother, you don't do that. You know, you don't want to be that type of guy. Right? First person you got to lead is definitely yourself. But are you the type of person that tries to get people? Because I know you like being alone in the gym.
Yeah.
Right, but do you also try to drag people with you?
Yeah, when I text Moles to give me it, he always, every time he'd make me ask people. But I mean, sometimes I just say no, or they're busy or something. But I mean, it would also be like at night. So it's nice being in the gym with people, but I also do want to help them out and get them extra reps because they need it just as much as me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, you have a very, three-way score, you know, the mid-range, the three, get to the rim, dunk it, right, jumping, passing lanes. And I think, what coach wouldn't want a player like that, right? And so you're going to Bellarmine, right, and being able to play at that level straight out of high school is not easy, especially these days, right? The climate is completely different, right? Being able to navigate the recruitment. So talk about the process of that, man. What did that process look like for you?
The recruitment process?
Yes.
I mean, it was crazy because I feel like right now is the worst time to be going through that process.
Yeah.
But for me, sure, I just kept trusting God, and my parents like telling me, like give me advice, just help me out, like it will come, like what you work for, you're gonna get. Yeah. And it was tough, like when coaches would like maybe like just stop texting you, or they would just tell you straight up, like, you know, we're not interested anymore, or you see other guards that commit, or like the transfer portal, like a lot of people just rely on the transfer portal, so you're sitting there even wondering if you're going to get a shot. Right. But once Bellarmine started coming in and talking to me, like the way they do things, I love. So it was so easy from there just to choose. Yeah. And at the end of the day, all you can do is work. Yeah. You know, you can network and go out and send emails, but I mean, if you're not putting in the work, then none of that matters. So absolutely. I just put my head down and just kept going. Yeah. That's the work that's it right there, man. You know, and that's controlling the controllables. Yeah. Right. The worst thing, man, I've experienced it, I'm sure we all have. The worst thing, Tommy, is not, I didn't get the opportunity. Yeah. The worst thing is I got the opportunity, but I wasn't ready for it. So like you said, man, like making sure like you live ready, right? That's my new phrase is live ready. If you do that, man, everything else take care of itself, right? So what are the goals that you have for this next year, next couple years? What's those goals look like? Yeah, I just think I want to, build my body more. That's always been a thing. I've always been growing, and it's been hard to gain weight. Yeah. And now I'm at a level where they take that stuff seriously. Yeah. And I'm playing against grown men as well. Right. So I'm going to need to. And really just, make a statement there. Like, same type of goal I had at Kings. Like, past 10 years, we're kind of just like in the middle of the ECC or the bottom, struggled. And we didn't really have like a star or like a player who like stood out, and I was like I want that to be me. Like I want little kids to like want to be like me, want to come up to me and talk to me. So at Bellarmine, the same thing, create that legacy and just make the most of my opportunity, because obviously not a lot of people get that opportunity. Right. So I definitely want to make the most of it and just don't do anything stupid, pretty much. Right. Just stay level-headed. And that's major key. It's definitely an opportunity of a lifetime, man. But you're gonna do great, man. You're gonna definitely take advantage of it. And I have this here actually,
right? Hourglasses are a good way of reminding us, right, that not to take no moment for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like no moment, because it's time goes.
Yeah.
It goes, and you just never know when your journey ends, right? With a sport, with anything. And so, but that's a good, the fact that you're already thinking about that, it's in your mind, right, is the first major step, right?
Yeah.
And so, well, let's go ahead and talk about your faith, right? You've already said it a couple of times of trusting God, right, in your journey. And so, how has your faith, your belief in God, right, how has that helped you along the way?
I mean, it was almost everything to me, because my parents, my mom mainly, since I was little, you know, she's a devout Christian. She's like put that into me that, you know, God will be there for you and Jesus loves you no matter what. Yeah. And I mean, I was really young and she told me, you know, like, I was like, is Jesus in my heart? And she's like, no, you can let him in. And since then, like, I've just, you know, put everything like that I do like for God, and, you know, knowing that there's like an afterlife and just heaven, really. Yeah. Knowing that, like, I want to do everything I can on earth to, I don't know how to word it, but just, you know, do it for him. Like, if he did everything for us, like Jesus, so. Yeah. But my mom definitely just helped out a lot, and I also want to kind of like change the narrative of the world. I feel like a lot of people look at it as like a political thing, and it really isn't. It's just, you know, if you want it in your heart, then you'll have it. But a lot of people take it a different way, and kids my age, you know, it's kind of rare to find someone who has a lot of faith and shows it and acts the way like a Christian would, kind of. Yeah. But definitely just, I mean, I don't know, I feel like it was just kind of in me always.
Yeah. But see, Tommy, that's a beautiful thing, right? That's a beautiful thing of being unashamed of the gospel, right? Yeah. And that alone is where your biggest impact is going to be. You know what I mean? Like, as you go off to Bellarmine, man, right, that's going to be your biggest impact, right, is going there unashamed, right, and just glorifying God in everything that you do, like you said, right? And that's something that I feel like a lot of kids, like, they like, okay, maybe, yeah, but I think where they struggle is the acceptance from their peers. Right, and it's like, well, what does that mean for me when it comes to everything else? Right, does that mean I gotta not do this or not be with them, right? And so it's not easy to navigate that in high school or in college, right? But how did you navigate that? Like, how did you, like you said, it was always in your heart, right? And your mom was definitely a good mentor or guidance. I won't say mentor as your mom, but helped guide you through with your faith. But how did you navigate that?
I mean, really, getting baptized was a big thing for me. My dad always brought it up, and I was never really interested because I was little, and I was just like, really, I just didn't want to go and do it in front of everyone. I didn't want to make it a big deal because I was embarrassed. Right. But once I got baptized, like, everything became more clear to me. Like, we're here because of him, and without him, we wouldn't have any of these, we wouldn't have anything. Right. So navigating it, I just read the Bible, you know, like trying to read, like I read a lot of like Matthew, that, and then the Job, like reading that.
They made mistakes. Yeah. They struggled. They had questions. They had doubts, right? And, you know, Thomas was always like, man, what? Like, you know, they called him Doubting Thomas. You know, if you get a nickname like that, you must be doubting all the time. Yeah. Right? But he finished the race though. And that's just a testimony to all of us that our human emotions, our human mistakes does not disqualify us being a follower of Christ. Yeah. You know, God knows our heart. And so at your age, you're going to face a lot of more challenges, but once again, that's life. You know what I mean? That's life, man. And so keep pushing, Tommy, man. That's amazing. You know, that is amazing. Did you do anything at Kings as far as like FCA or anything like that?
No, we don't really got a lot of like things like that.
Okay.
But I mean, we have this thing called like Young Life and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, Young Life.
But
yeah.
it was always on for the season. Like when I started, when season started, it was always Thursday nights, which was like team meal, or
right.
in the summer it was like just days that I couldn't make.
Right.
But and then now I'm leaving, so there's no reason to start going to something here. But
I got a challenge for you. You ready for this challenge? Do you accept my challenge?
I do.
Okay. I always do that with kids. I make them accept the challenge before. So you go up to Bellarmine. I want you to start something.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be a spark, right? And it starts with one person, right? But I want you to be a spark when you go there, and of course you're going to have your schedule and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the easiest spark is amongst your team, right? Hey guys, man, maybe we should go up. Maybe we should on this day, since we don't have practice, right at this time or whatever. Hey, let's have a Bible study, or let's just sit down and talk and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my challenge. All right, I'm gonna check up on you and see if you are doing the challenge. You got me?
I got you.
You accept the challenge?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. But yeah, you're gonna be a spark when you go there, man. I already know. So, all right, we talked about your faith, right, and that being your foundation for everything, right? Have you ever heard of the sources of strength?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So shout out to 1 in 5, great people. I always try to do work with them and stuff like that. But they introduced me to the sources of strength. So you know what it is.
It's
so
like the wheel, right?
It's the wheel,
yeah.
right? It's the wheel, and it has all these different things that you can pull from, whether it's, for some people it's their family or being with their friends, or for some people it's working out, other people may be reading, and it could be a lot of different things, right? Your faith, right? But different sources for your strength when you're going through challenges and obstacles and stuff like that. So, I mean, we already talked about your faith, right? But what are some other things, right, that you pull from as your sources of strength?
For me, you know, I feel like quality time with people I love helps me a lot. And I feel like if you're going through something, like no matter how serious it is, you can always, you know, be with someone that you like or someone you love, and you'll feel like okay, and you'll be in the moment. And then for me, I always try to take something from that, like I'm like, oh, you know, or do something I like with them, and then I'll take something from it, and just try to learn, like going through, you know, trials and tribulations, really, for that, like for anything you're going through. But definitely just hanging out. I like to hang out with people. You know, I mean, it's not a big one, but playing video games, like just alone time, doing something like that you enjoy, other than sports, because you know it can get overwhelming and you don't want to burn out. So doing something outside. I mean, sometimes I'll go up with Nate, because Nate's going to EMU for football.
Okay.
I'll go up and I'll guard him. I'll play DB on him.
Okay.
Something. Try to just something that's a challenge.
Yeah.
You know?
And something different.
Yeah.
You know. Did you ever play?
No, I played flag football, but man, I got hands. Like I could definitely be a receiver.
I was about to say you definitely could be a good receiver.
I definitely could, because I go out when I go against Nate. I mean, I don't know if you've ever watched him play football, but I mean Nate's pretty tough.
Yeah.
He's pretty tough. So going out there and guarding him, I mean, I can hold my own sometimes. He does sauce me up a couple of times.
Hey, what's the guy's name? Super Bowl. What was his name? The DB. You know what I'm talking about?
From this year?
Yeah. Jake, you know? The DB's name. From the Eagles.
Cooper DeJean?
There it is.
Oh,
that guy.
DeJean.
Cooper DeJean. It could have been you right there, man. That's you. Cooper DeJean. I thought Jake would know, but we all know why. All right, but we all know why. But that could have been you, man. Now, because you definitely. But hoopers, I feel like this debate with football players is ridiculous. They don't want to accept it. But it's so much easier for a hooper to just go and play football than a football player to just start hooping.
Yeah, because I mean, you got dudes obviously linemen.
Exactly.
Like, they can't come and do what we do.
Exactly.
But there's not really a position on the basketball court where you're restricted from something you can do on the football field.
Right.
But basketball players, I mean, you got to be athletic to play. Like you have to be. So going out there, like Wyatt, I mean, he could 100% go and play like D-end or something.
Oh, for sure.
And all the big dudes, and then the little dudes can go and play DB. Because you look at the DBs, even in NFL, some of them are like 6 foot,
I know.
5'9",
yeah,
180. So it's like, man.
Mike Hilton is like that.
Yeah, like you could go out there and knock down a ball or something. But I do got respect for DBs because playing with your back away from the ball and backing up, you're running backwards. Like, I mean, that's pretty tough to do.
Yeah, and then of course you get people like me watching that's like, why don't you just turn around?
Yeah.
Like that'd be pissing me off, I'm not gonna lie. Especially, I'm a Bengals fan. I'll be watching the game and it's just like go right past their head. I'm like, you could have just, but it's easier said than done. Yeah. Definitely easier said than done. But that's good. Sources of strength, man, extremely important. Having those things because it is so easy when you're striving like you are to be at a high level to burn out. Did you ever have a time where you were like, man, I feel like I'm burning out right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at the end of junior year, like I had a successful season, and you look ahead and you got like 5 tournaments at the highest level, still going through the recruitment process, which that was probably the most stressful thing at the time. Yeah. And I mean, just for basketball, like it used to be a sport where you're not worrying about really anything, but if you have fun or if you're playing well, but feeling the burnout, I feel like it can, like you can get past it, like, because I feel like I felt burnout the whole time I was playing junior year, but I also still love the game, so I enjoyed it. And just, for me, I feel like it helped me just to keep going instead of stopping what I'm doing or taking a break. Now this year, like having the break feels a lot better, like because I felt burnout at the end of this year as well. But it's that last stretch. Like you get halfway through the season, you're in the last stretch, and you're a senior. You're like, burnout's not even an option right now. Right. But I for sure felt it after junior year. Yeah. Because it's you got to grind. Yeah. To get where I wasn't really known, like coming into sophomore year. Right. So just building my reputation and like just getting better. Yeah. Like it took a lot. For sure. But yeah, I think there's a lot that goes into basketball. So
there is sacrifice.
Yeah.
Major sacrifice.
Especially as a sophomore, a freshman, junior. It's a summer night and all your friends are hanging out. Yeah. You got to wake up at 8 in the morning, or maybe you're not even there because you're in, like for 3SSB, it was like Texas, Birmingham, Rock Hill, and I'm like, bro. Right. We got 150 courts at Spooky Nook right here. Right. I mean, we could have been there. But, right. Yeah. It's also, those are cool opportunities. So I would just be like, I'm going to Texas to play at a higher level, and they can go hang out. They'll be there when I get back. Right. I'll have time to hang out. Yeah. But, yeah.
That right there, I forget who told me this, or who said it, but what they were saying was, if you're going to be great, right, especially as a young kid, right, and that's the thing about being an athlete. The thing about being an athlete is if you want to be great, you have to kind of decide real early. Not real early, but earlier than somebody that says, I want to be a great entrepreneur. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like you can be 40 and say, you know what, I think I'm gonna be a great entrepreneur. Yeah. But you can't be 40 and be like, you know what, I think I'm gonna try to play D1 basketball. People be looking like what? Yeah. Right? So it happens at an earlier age. And the maturity that you have to sacrifice so much that the typical kid they're not making that sacrifice. Yeah. So what the person said was, the key is knowing when to leave. Yeah. Because you can be with some people, but knowing when to leave. When you have to be like, all right, child, it's been real, I gotta go. Right? I gotta go here, I gotta go there. I gotta work out in the morning, I can't hang out all night. Right? And they're like, nah, come on, oh, you whacking. And you gotta make that decision like, nah, I gotta stick to my vision. Right? But knowing when to leave, knowing when to separate yourself, because it's not like you have to, and it depends on the situation, but it's not like you have to, you might have a friend group, and it's not like, it's like, oh, well, I can never see y'all again. Right? Now there's time and place for that, right? But it's like, okay, you got to know when to leave, right? And that's, I think I've seen a lot of kids, they didn't quit the sport, but they slowed down. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Where it came to a gradual stop.
Yeah.
Like somewhere along the way, they made the decision that the price was too high.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can have anything you want in this life, man, if you're willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
Right? And so the cost, man, the cost, right? And for you, I think that the burnout after your junior year, it sounds like a big part of it was pressure. Because that was before, like you said, that was still during your recruitment process.
Yeah.
So you're like, man, I have to.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a choice of like I have to go out here and do this.
Yeah.
And like I said, man, I think this is where that's where a lot of kids end up slowing down and giving up and saying, this is too much, man. And, you know, it's something you hate to see, but that's life.
Yeah.
People weave them, they take themselves out of the journey, right? But this question here is something that we've talked about with your faith and stuff as far as anchors and having a purpose with what you do, and that's your faith, which is amazing. But non-negotiables. I love this phrase or whatever. And it came from Kobe, right? The greatest of all time. You agree to that?
No. I think MJ.
That's very respectable, though.
Yeah.
I respect that a lot. I thought you was gonna go down the typical path for your generation.
I can't stand LeBron. No.
See that's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why Tommy's Tommy, man. He understands the game of basketball, right? But so Kobe was like, I do not negotiate with myself. Like if I say I'm about to go work out, I'm working out. I'm not going to go, maybe my leg kind of hurt today, or I'm feeling kind of sick, right? And so I think it's very important to have non-negotiables in anything you do in life. So what would you say your non-negotiables in life are?
I mean, just being respectful, you know, being a better person than anything. And non-negotiable, like just working out, like getting something in, like getting better every day. Just maybe it's that, like just something random, like it can be anything, just at least you're getting better. You know, like it could be like cooking, like learning something new, but definitely just, you know, being grateful and respectful is big for me. Like my character is really what carries me in anything I do. So working on that every day and just trying to fight there's a lot of temptations and a lot of times that you can procrastinate, just trying to eliminate those and get better. Yeah.
I can tell that this is the beautiful thing about, you know, when you give your life to Christ, right, and your faith is your foundation, is all these questions I'm asking you, it's easy to answer them for real, because it all comes from that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're not pulling from, well, I learned this here and I learned this here.
Yeah.
You always can go back. If somebody asks you for your non-negotiables or your standards, your values, or what's your stance on this, I can tell by your answers. It's all like you talk about your character and stuff like that. It all goes back to that, you know. And I think that's something I really wanted to definitely talk to you about, man, because that's something I have admired about you. Right, because it's something that, like I said, you're not ashamed to talk about. I invited you to that thing. He blew me off, y'all.
I had team meal.
He said he had team meal. I asked Nick, man. Nick was like, "Nah, we don't even do that." I was like, "What?"
No, he's lying.
No,
I was about to say, no way. He didn't even come, bro.
No, I'm just playing. But I have admired that about you, man. And so I'm glad we were able to talk about that. Okay. The final questions I like to ask, right, is some reflection questions, right? So I want you to imagine you're at the gym, right? You got this kid watching you. He's watching you work out. You're doing your thing, getting your shots up. All right, you're done. You say something to the kid for a little bit. The kid is about to walk out. He's about to walk out the door. You look at him, you realize, oh my goodness, it's the 7th grade me, the one we saw in the video. But the 7th grade you is about to walk out that door. So you get one final thing, maybe a sentence, a phrase, or whatever. One final thing to say to young Tommy. What are you going to tell him?
Probably just stay the course. are pretty simple. I mean, I feel like it's cliche when people ask, what would you tell your younger self? But I mean, it's really true. Like, stay the course. I wouldn't want anything different from where I'm at right now. You know, everything's for a reason. And a lot of people think that they want to go back and change something they did. But if you go back and change that, then maybe you're different, or you will be different now. So I'll just tell them, stay the course, you know, like grind.
Right.
And I mean, I'm not the type to like regret something. So just, you know, stay the course and do everything with no regrets.
That's okay. Well, that's perfect time. Look at this, Tom. This is for you. We already got one. Go ahead and take yours. All right. Now read, what is this?
Bet on yourself. You want me to read the inside?
Well, the inside is chase the love.
Chase the love. Bet on yourself. No regrets.
No regrets. And that's something that's yours. I want you to always keep that with you as a reminder that first off, don't chase the money, don't chase the bag, don't chase the clout, chase the love. Because if you do what you love and you love what you do, right, everything else will chase you.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? All that extra stuff. If you chase the love, all that other stuff will chase you, right? And then also, like you said, no regrets, man. And that's, like I said, man, while you still can. That's why this is a great reminder, right? Do what you can while you can.
Yeah.
Because there's going to come a time where you can't do the things that you say that you love.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And so that whole, but when you say that you're not the type of person to have any regrets, why do you think that is? Because a lot of people live with a lot of regret.
Yeah.
Right? It haunts them. And so why do you think that is for you, though?
For me, I mean, again, my faith, because you know God's plan is real, and you know that He's got something in store for you. And if you're regretting what you did in the past, then you're not trusting God's plan. So for me, it's definitely my faith.
That's good. That is good. Tommy, you preaching to me right now. That's good, man. Okay. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you've accomplished a lot. Your career as a basketball player is over. What do you want people to say? Tommy Clark was
just a great dude. You know, because the ball will stop bouncing.
Yeah.
And then no one's going to care if you're a good basketball player.
Right.
If you're talking to someone, they're not going to be, or if you're trying to get a job, you're talking to someone important, they're not going to be like, oh, you're a good basketball player. Like, I'm going to let it slide.
Yeah.
Definitely just being a good dude, and the kid, he's got good character. Just that.
Yeah.
And that's always been my thing.
Yeah. Character, man. And that's everything, you know, because I think it's easy for us to get caught up in what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish.
For sure.
Right? And shout out to Diamond Hall. Diamond Hall is the mental coach for the Baltimore Orioles, right? The baseball team. He came and talked to our team this season, and he told us, be, do, have, give, right? And he said it has to be in that order, right? And I think a lot of us try to do and not focus on who we need to become. Like you said, our character, right? And it has to start with who we are, right? Because who you are affects everything you do. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And which then affects what you have, and then affects what you're able to give, right? And so character is everything. That's a common theme I see something that you care about, man, and that's awesome. And so, Tommy, man, I appreciate you. I got you a wristband as well.
Appreciate it.
And that wristband right there, Romans 8:31, right? If God is for us, who can be against us, right? And that is something that I want you to take with you as well, that whatever you face in life, whatever it is, whatever challenge, whatever giant is in your way, that if God is for you, man, who can be against you?
Sir.
And that's where you find that courage, right? Which is from our faith. Our faith is what gives us courage, because we know, man, God is on my side, right? Beautiful scene, right? I got to say this. But did you watch that House of David? Watch that. It's on Prime, right? The House of David. It follows David's story a little bit, but there was a scene, right? And of course, they add some things for it, but I thought it was great, right? And I'm gonna leave you with this. Everybody, you know the story of David and Goliath, right? Yeah. Nobody wanted to go against him, and David was like, I'll do it. And they're looking at him like, bro, nah, you too little. And if you lose, we all lose. And now we got to be their captives pretty much. But he's like, man, I'm going to do it. And his brothers, who are trained to be fighters or warriors or soldiers in battle, they're like, we don't want to do it. And they're like, dude, you're definitely not doing it. We're trained, you're not. And he's like, look, I'm going to go out there. I killed lions, I killed bears, being a shepherd boy for the sheep, watching over the sheep, right? And so in the scene, he says all of that. He's walking towards Goliath, and one of his brothers finally stops him, and they're like, we've been trying to convince you to not do this. He's like, why are you not scared? Like the rest of us, why are you not scared? And this was simple, but I thought it was powerful. David turned to him and said, I am scared. And then he turned back and he kept going. And that, I think, is the reality of life. It's not, I think the word fearless is pretty unrealistic, because I think we're humans. I think courage is the key, right? I think courage is acting in spite of fear. And like I said, when we know where our strength comes from God, right, then that's where our courage comes from. You see what I'm saying? And so I want you to always, always, always have that in your mind, that you're prepared for everything. And your journey has made you king. Your journey has made you capable of everything that you're about to face, man. So keep going, man. Keep fighting. Keep believing, Tommy. The best is yet to come for you. It's been an honor to watch your journey. And it's been an honor to talk to you today. So thank you. Appreciate you for coming on to the show.
Of course.
My gosh. Tommy Clark. Very good. Are you getting this? I'm posting this. If it doesn't happen, if the 1v1 and the shooting contest does not happen, it's him ducking.
It will happen. And we can do a dunk contest right after.
I mean, we can. I didn't say that. But
hey,
we can do
if worst comes to worst, I'm not gonna lose, but maybe like.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna finish what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
No.
You see that doubt?
I'm not doubting anything.
That doubt is starting to creep in.
I'm not gonna finish.
The doubt is creeping in, as it should. As it should. It's fine.
There's no doubt in my mind that I would beat him. I'm not letting a dude over 27 beat me.